Do you know what's coming in between you and your $1 million dream? Well, I do. If you really want to level up financially, the first thing that you're going to have to change is your circle of friends. And you've probably heard that old quote that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're obviously in the wrong room. And that's one of those lessons that every successful person eventually learns at some point or another. I almost feel like I can even pinpoint that exact moment where Jay-Z figured out that he had outgrew his circle. It was in that clip where the rest of Rockefeller was pretty much goofing off, but Jay-Z was just standing there with his arms folded, just looking at the camera. And you could tell that he was just completely uninterested, uninspired, and that he had outgrown that scene and outgrown that environment and even outgrown those friends that he had reached that specific level of success with. Because friends are more than just people that you talk to. They actually inspire you and influence you. They influence your present just as much as they influence your future. Whatever that thing is that connects you to your friends, that influences your conversations. And your conversations influence your thoughts. And ultimately, your thoughts influence your actions. And if those actions are contrary to the things that you need to be doing to succeed, then that's going to hold you back tremendously. If you only hang around people that you went to high school with, most of your conversations are probably going to be about the past, or about who you guys were in high school, or about people from high school. If your friend group only consists of your band members, for instance, then most of your conversations are going to be about music. But when you hang around people who are a step above you financially and who are on that same road to being financially wealthy or financially free or to becoming a millionaire, then you're going to have conversations about those topics. And those are going to lead to new thoughts, which leads to positive actions that are actually going to get you where you want to be. Now, despite what they say, I personally don't really believe that birds of a feather necessarily flock together. Because sometimes it's true that opposites do attract. But I do believe that the more that you hang around a person, the more that you communicate with the person, the more that you begin looking alike, talking alike, sounding alike, and ultimately acting alike. Now, I'm definitely not saying that you should drop all of your friends. But I am saying that you need to start expanding your horizons and exploring some new friend groups as well. For example, you can start attending local entrepreneur meetups, or you could join a local co-working space where there are other entrepreneurs that are all working towards achieving their goals. Ultimately, you want to make friends who are already on that path to where you're going, or who have already landed at that destination that you're trying to reach. Now, the second thing that you might have to change is going to sound a bit cruel. And I really even kind of hate to bring it up, but it might even be the most important one. If you plan on being a millionaire one day, you might have to give up your significant other or decide to give up your dream, one or the other. And just a disclaimer here, this suggestion is not for everybody. Because some of you may have a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend who understand exactly what it takes to be an entrepreneur and understand exactly the things that you're going to need to do and the sacrifices that you're going to make to actually reach your dream. But some of you have significant others who will absolutely pull you down. They aren't going to want you to invest the time, the money, or the effort that it's going to require for you to reach your dream, because that's less time, money, and effort that you have for them. They're going to constantly complain, and they're going to constantly make you feel bad. And you're going to feel like there's always this battle between feeding your dream and feeding their expectation. Because when it comes to business, your significant other is either going to be the fuel that pushes you forward, or it's going to be the gas that burns everything down. The truth is that not everybody was meant to be married to an entrepreneur, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing, and it doesn't make them a bad person. But if you have that drive and that passion to be an entrepreneur, and that's something that's within you and something that's within your DNA, and they aren't the type of person that's going to align with that passion, then obviously that's just not going to work. You're going to have to choose one or the other. And let me tell you that it's not easy being with an entrepreneur. Many entrepreneurs work a 9 to 5, and then they come home and work another 5 or 6 hours towards their dream. And when things go wrong, entrepreneurs carry the stress of it all, which means that their moods can shift like they're bipolar or something. And they constantly put their business first. So any extra money that they have, well, that's probably going to go to their business and not going towards your next vacation or going out to an expensive dinner. Not everybody wants to be married into that type of situation. And many people don't even want to date through that type of situation. And you really can't blame them for not wanting to put up with those type of sacrifices that they're going to have to make just to be with you as an entrepreneur. So you want to have that conversation way before you even think about starting a business. Because if you grow that business into the millions and millions of dollars and that spouse is unhappy the whole way, then they're gonna end up divorcing you and you're gonna give up half of your money and then you're not gonna be a millionaire anyway. If you're a hundredaire or a thousandaire or even a 100,000aire, well, it's your mindset that's keeping you that way. And that's why the third thing that you need to change in order to be a millionaire is your mindset. In fact, as long as your mindset stays the same, pretty much so will your net worth. Because the way that you think influences your entire life. It influences your perceptions, your habits, and of course your finances. The truth is that physically there's not much difference between you and a super wealthy person. But the one big difference is the way that they think and the way that they perceive the world. Rich people and poor people have totally different values and totally different beliefs. And you don't have to take my word for that because Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad said it better than I ever could. For example, according to Robert Kiyosaki, poor people look at a job as their main source of income for their entire life. On the other hand, rich people look at a job as a temporary step just for them to acquire the skills that they need to start their next business. Or for instance, poor people believe that wealth depends on the family that you came from or your environmental background. Whereas rich people look at wealth as a game that they play where they can develop the skills to get better and better at that game every day. So if you want to level up your finances, then you have to reach that next level of knowledge as well. So that comes with, again, changing your circle of friends and also reading and absorbing information from people who have gotten to where you want to be. The fourth thing that you're going to need to change is that spirit of making excuses. When you have a rich mindset, that means that you're narrowly focused on achieving your dream or achieving your goal. That means that you no longer give yourself excuses to not do those things that you really need to get done. Rain, sleet, or snow, you stay focused and you get those things done because you know that those are the steps to getting you towards your dream. When everyone else is sleeping, you're working on your business. When everyone else is going out and enjoying their weekend, you're staying at home because you probably spent all your money on some new software that's going to elevate your business to that next level. And if you're gonna be a millionaire, you're also gonna have to change your outlook on money. The truth is that as consumers, we just don't look at money the correct way. Many of us spend up our money before we ever even get it. We've already filled up our Amazon shopping cart and we're ready to click that buy button before we've even gotten our paycheck in our bank accounts. But if you actually want to be wealthy, then you need to start looking at every single dollar, every $2, every $5 or $10 that you spend. Because every single dollar has the potential to multiply itself if you know where to put it or if you know what to do with it. Now, I'm a startup coach, not an investment coach. So I'm not going to make any recommendations on where I think you should put your money. But if you want some ideas for businesses that you could start where you could really start expanding your income, then check out the videos on our channel because we have many suggestions on there. The truth is that building wealth is a skill, and the more skillful you are in that area, the more money that you're gonna make. Because to most of us, hitting a home run seems like a magnificent feat, but to a Major League Baseball player, it's something that probably doesn't seem so hard at all because they're already skilled in doing that. If you actively change these 5 things, then I have no doubt that you're gonna be able to reach your wealth goals. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep doing amazing shit.